Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel, your home for crypto news and interviews. Lots of big news to share with you all. Some funny stuff, some good, some bad. We're going to talk about Bitboy crypto versus Anthony Pompliano. What's happening with that drama with two of crypto's biggest influencers? And what are they fighting over, guys? I want to cover it because it's actually important. So I'm going to talk to you about that. It includes Bitcoin versus Shiba Inu. We're also going to talk about New York City's mayor-elect, Eric Adams. He's going to take his first three paychecks in Bitcoin. Very bullish. We're seeing game theory and Metcalfe's law playing out here. We're also going to talk about Brian Brooks, who was at the OCC, then Binance US. Now he's at Bitfury. So we're going to talk about his new role. And remember what I said in yesterday's video that banks will allow you to get loans off your crypto? Well, we got an official statement from Bank of America. They are going to look to do that for pretty soon. So every bank will offer you loans off your crypto. We're going to talk about major funding, $100 million for the metaverse, and much, much more. Before we get to it, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Guys, let's look at the Bitcoin weekly chart here. We see Bitcoin is forming somewhat of a red candle. We see a slice of a red candle here. So maybe my scenario, the lines I drew on this chart, the Bitcoin weekly chart over 4 months ago, and everything's been playing out as I said. Maybe it's going to play out like I said, and we're going to drop to 58, between 55 to 58, bounce off of that and go to new all-time highs later this month. Right now, Bitcoin is at 61,295, Ethereum over 4,500, Solana still moving really strong. Let me refresh here just to make sure I give you guys the accurate data. Solana is in the number 4 spot at $247, Cardano at $1.98, XRP at $1.18. So everybody's waiting for Bitcoin's move. That's what we are paying attention to. Bitcoin is a rising tide that moves all boats. So we have to use Bitcoin as the benchmark. Here, we have an updated chart analysis from TechDev, who does great technical analysis. I highly recommend you guys follow him on Twitter. He said Bitcoin's price was here and here in Q4 candles on this exact day 4 and 8 years ago. Looks good to me so far. So essentially, similar patterns are playing out because of Bitcoin's 4-year cycle. And you see here, we're forming another green candle. So this is the quarterly view, right, versus the weekly view that we're using. So you're going to see less volatility here, so to speak, but we are trending upwards and double peaking like we did in 2013. All right, guys, let's jump into the big news here. This is actually pretty funny, and I tweeted about it that I would love to see a boxing match. I would pay, in fact, to see a boxing match between Bitboy Crypto, Ben Armstrong, and Anthony Pompliano. Now, I'm a fan of both. I like Pomp. I learned a lot from Pomp. I like Bitboy. He does a lot of great content, and I've had Big Boy on my show. I've interviewed him. But here's what's happening. Anthony Pompliano is a bit of a Bitcoin maximalist, but that doesn't mean I don't listen to him. I listen to everybody, try to get different perspectives. I am not a maximalist of any coin. Bitboy Crypto, he's not a maximalist. He talks about all types of altcoins. Now, he'll even talk about the ones that are high risk, like Shiba Inu. And look, I've done a video on Shiba Inu, but I said it is too risky for me. I am not investing in it. I said it is. If you were to invest in it, it's like going to the casino and throwing it on black or red, right? Or playing the lottery. You could just lose your money. And we've seen some rug pulls. Squid Game coin got rug pulled. That was a meme coin. So you have to be careful. Nevertheless, I said if people were making money, I'm happy. I'm happy for you. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. It's not that serious. I'm just putting out the warnings and showing you the risks, right? Giving you both sides of the token. And I feel Bitboy does that too. But Anthony Pompliano is like, oh, you're telling people to invest in Doge and Shiba, but people are doing it anyway. So I think Pomp is coming from a bit of a Bitcoin maximalist, but he has a fair point that we have to be careful what we tell people. And he got into the clickbait thing. And then Bitboy was like, hey, yes, I use clickbait, but so does every YouTuber, and so do you, Pomp. Let me play a clip here of how heated it got.
One time, not one single time have I ever done that. And the stuff and the words that come out of your mouth that buy into the meme culture in the echo chamber that you live in, it's asinine, Pomp. It really is. You're out here assassinating people's characters. All I said was, I didn't agree with the way that you worded that video. That's literally all I said, and it's led to all this. It's ridiculous, to be honest with you.
Well, because again, here's how a free market works. You're free to say whatever you want, but when you say dumb shit like Dogecoin's going to $5, and you also put up stuff that's saying XRP is going to $589, and you also say don't buy Bitcoin.
You're the one saying Bitcoin is going to 20 million, Pomp.
No, see, that's a lie. 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 That's a lie.
This is great. That's why I tweeted the two of them getting into a boxing match and doing boxing. I'll pay to go see that. Anyway, it got pretty heated, but like I said, I watch both their content. I'm fans of both of them. And yes, they're wrong in certain ways, and yes, they're right in certain ways, right? But here's the thing. I do think Bitboy Crypto had a point, but Pomp does use some clickbait in his video where he had a guest on saying Bitcoin's going to go to $20 million a coin, and they put it on the thumbnail. That is clickbait. But Bitboy saying, hey, XRP going to 589 that is clickbait as well. So they're both doing the same thing, but I know Pomp is trying to say that Bitboy was making a definitive statement, but he was not. He put a question mark, right? It's okay to say, hey, is this going to happen? And with a question mark. And then in the video, in the content, if Bitboy was to say, hey, it's definitely going to this amount, and this is exactly what's going to happen. I've never seen Ben do that. So look, it's a lot of drama. I think just a lot of nonsense, but it looks like they got it over with at the end of the video, but it got pretty heated. So want to let you guys know about that and what's going on. And like I said, this started around meme stocks and the fact that, Bitboy was covering Shiba Inu, Pomp didn't like that. And look, I don't like meme coins, right? But I know some of you are making money off of it. So I'm happy for you. But like I've said, it's risky. So at the end of the day, they exist. It's in the market. People are buying into it. Elon has kind of started the movement with Dogecoin. So just be careful, guys. But just want to let you know about this scenario here. All right, guys, look at this statement from the mayor-elect, Eric Adams. He's the mayor-elect of New York City. He said, in New York, we always go big. So I'm going to take my first 3 paychecks in Bitcoin when I become mayor. NYC is going to be the center of the cryptocurrency industry and other fast-growing, innovative industries. Just wait. I love it. I love the healthy competitiveness here. And he replied to the Mayor Suarez tweet about taking his paycheck in Bitcoin. So I love it, guys. I'm actually trying to get an interview with Eric to talk about this and his plans for New York City. All politics aside, right? This is not about left or right or whatever. I just want to know what he's going to be doing around crypto and whether you like him or not. So just letting you guys know. But if he's on board with pushing crypto, we have been seeing bipartisan support. We see folks in Congress, Darren Soto, Democrat, Tom Emmer, Republican. So you're having bipartisan support. I'm glad that at least these folks can agree on a common goal that helps people and is the future. The mayor said he wants to make New York City a Bitcoin hub. He also wants to launch a city coin like Miami Coin. And I want to talk to him about that. So stay tuned, guys. I'm trying to get that interviewed so you guys can hear directly from the horse's mouth. All right, guys, look at this. This is so bullish when I see this type of news. Former vice president of Goldman Sachs is now the CEO of Prime Block, a Bitcoin mining firm. So we're seeing a lot of people getting poached and moving over from traditional financial worlds into crypto. That's a sign of market maturity and growth. These people see that this market is sustainable. The industry is sustainable. Very bullish sign. Here, Joe Rogan, who I'm a fan of, there's a tweet here that he's going to be accepted, or he accepted to be paid $100K in Bitcoin. So we're seeing Bitcoin crypto getting adopted on multiple fronts, whether it be people accepting it as payment, jobs, all the corporates, banks, stock exchanges accepting it. So this is pretty cool. Here, yesterday, I literally talked about this because I talked to you guys about Coinbase doing loans up to $1 million off of Bitcoin as collateral. Well, Bank of America COO says that offering loans against crypto assets could be a possibility in the future. Let me let you into a little secret. They've already had their board meetings. They've already done their R&D, their research and development, and this is coming. It's just a matter of setting up the infrastructure and the logistics. When they put news out like this, we've seen it historically, right? Oh yeah, we're thinking about it, may happen. Then come like 6 months later, boom, it's here it is, right? Or sometimes sooner. This is coming, guys. I've done the scenario. Mr. Jones, how are you doing today? Would you like to invest in crypto and we'll custody it for you? And if you're holding it, you could borrow against it. All the white gloves, service, bells and whistles of the traditional financial world are coming to crypto. Super exciting times, guys. Check this out. Brian Brooks, who was the former CEO of Binance US, he had a short tenure there, and then he left, obviously, because Binance US has a lot of regulatory issues. I don't know how they handled the Catherine Coley firing, but I don't think it went well. So it's just a mess at Binance US. Well, he's now at Bitfury, and it says Brooks is replacing Valerie Vavilov, who will stay on as Bitfury's chief vision officer. So Brian, I'm a big fan of this guy. I'm in contact with him to get an interview, but I know he's been busy. Brian, if you're listening, let's set this up, man. Brian is one of the great minds in the crypto market. If you listen to this guy speak about crypto, he's so knowledgeable. He's pretty articulate in the way he talks about crypto. But he was the man at the OCC who gave banks the green light to custody crypto. Pretty historic and revolutionary. He also gave the regulatory clarity around stable coins, and a lot of it is now playing out in front of Congress about what's going to happen next. So Bitcoin mining company Bitfury has hired former Binance US chief Brian Brooks as its new CEO. Brooks. Let me back up here. Mr. Brooks will lead the 10-year crypto unicorn as it launches its a new funding round. It increases the growth of its mining business with a revolutionary new microchip design and new global data center locations, Bitfury announced. The appointment comes weeks after news that Bitfury was planning to go public in the next 12 months in what would be Europe's biggest cryptocurrency valuation. The Amsterdam-based firm is thought to be valued at $1 billion. Goes back to what I've been telling you guys about Bitcoin mining boom here in the United States and around the world. And these miners are going public, which is, really bullish. And once again, the United States and other governments, with the exception of China, are not banning it. Even Fed Chair Powell said, no plans to ban Bitcoin or crypto. It's here to stay. It is the new asset class. It is the opportunity of a lifetime. It's the disruptive technology that is just disrupting the next layer on the internet. It's Web3, disrupting payments and currency and money and so forth. So bullish, guys. We're so early. Yes, it's not 2013. Yes, it's not 2017. It's 2021. But we're still very early in the adoption curve when you look at the adoption of the internet and other new technology, guys. So I'm just so happy to be here early, and I'm sure many of you are as well. Hester Peirce, who I've interviewed, just a forward-thinking, great regulator. I really love and respect her. She called out essentially Gensler, who approved a Bitcoin futures ETF, but where is the spot ETF? So she said, by not approving a Bitcoin spot ETF, the SEC is hurting investors. So, man, I got to give her credit. She is brave because, a lot of these government institutions, they all go in the same directions many times, and it's usually not to protect investors, and it's usually to screw over little people. But thank God that she's stepping up and speaking out, because that once again makes Gary Gensler look like a clown, which I think he is. He's a puppet being controlled by his puppet masters, the banking cartel. You guys know my stance on that. And like I said, I've interviewed Hester a couple of times. So if you haven't seen my interview with her, be sure to check it out. Great mind, great visionary for the crypto market and regulations, guys. Look at this, guys. I hold Chainlink. I am bullish as hell on Chainlink. I think Chainlink could potentially hit $100 plus at the peak of this bull run. Value secured by Chainlink data soars tenfold in less than a year. The value of smart contracts dependent on the data from Chainlink's Oracle networks has climbed to $75 billion. We've talked about Google and a bunch of other big players using Chainlink's data and their oracles, guys. So it's getting real world adoption, and that's what you want to see when you invest in a project. So this is massive. So the total value secured has soared from $7 billion at the end of last year, from $7 billion to $75 billion. Holy crap. Chainlink's oracles feed data such as weather and sports results from external sources to blockchains such as Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Avalanche. The data allows decentralized finance applications to trigger their smart contracts when conditions are met. Without trusted price data to trigger smart contracts, it is impossible to build DeFi applications. And we do not think it is a coincidence that the rate at which Chainlink has been able to bring new market data onto blockchains has been at a rate at which developers have been able to build existing DeFi apps, said Sergey Nazarov, co-founder of Chainlink. Man, I'm trying to get an interview with him. Chainlink, guys, I'm telling you, keep your eye on this project. I'm not telling you to go invest in it, but what I'm seeing, as far as adoption, it's crazy. Every day you see on their feed on Twitter, the new partnerships, and it's not just like crypto projects that are partnering with them, but a lot of different companies outside of crypto. So I'm very bullish on Chainlink. I continue to buy it in the dips, not financial or investment advice, guys. Do your own research. Don't just go buy this because you heard me say I hold it and so forth. You need to go do your research, and then, based on what you've learned, if you decide to do that, do that. But I just want to make sure I don't want people who are new to the market just go, ape into some coin because I said something. That's not what I want. I want to share the facts, and then you come to your own conclusions. Guys, look at this. Enjin forms $100 million fund to support metaverse projects. The Affinity Metaverse Fund will aim to support work on metaverse projects on Enjin and Polkadot. I hold some Polkadot in my portfolio. It's doing really well right now. But guys, the metaverse, everybody's going to be building their metaverse. And we see Facebook, we've seen Microsoft talk about it with Xbox, big things ahead. That's why I said we're still very early, because this thing is going to go beyond just Bitcoin or altcoins. We're talking digital landscapes, and obviously the metaverse and worlds and crypto and NFTs and so forth are going to be a part of that. Big things are ahead, my friends. And some of us who are maybe boomers, or like myself, a millennial, we may not see it or get it, or think, oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to be part of that. Doesn't matter. Gen Z and its future generations are going to be a part of it, guys. But you're think of like 1995 versus where we are now with the internet, right? And if you took a position, maybe at that time, if you took a position in Google and Amazon, you didn't see the mass adoption of the internet. You didn't see full commerce on the internet. You didn't see all the video content and sharing and communication. It was hard to picture that, right? And to see that come to fruition, but it did. And it took 20, 30 years to get there, right? Same thing with crypto. We are at our 1995, 1996 of the internet, guys, where we're taking positions in the Googles and the Amazons and so forth, but they are networks. And there's going to be a multi-chain world with different cryptos and interoperability and the metaverse. And this thing is going to take off. There's going to be really cool stuff being built where we couldn't even imagine it now, right? Right now, we're seeing here breadcrumbs and little bits and pieces here, but there's going to be incredible things that are going to be built in the future. But as I said before, we are very lucky to be here early. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people ignoring what's happening. There's a lot of people who are still skeptics, who think this is a scam, who think this is garbage, but just as there were people criticizing the internet, let's remember Paul Krugman, what he said in 1998, by 2005, I can see the internet's going to be dead and the fax machine is going to be still relevant. But we know how that story turns out, right? All right. Warren Davidson, a great gentleman here. Big fan of him. You know, he talked about these stable coins regulations with the president's working group. He said, thankfully, the working group recognized stable coins are intended to function as cash. Depository institutions need not be banks. However, banks are certainly depository institutions. Congress needs to define this framework and protect self-custody. So some good news in a way that, you know, they're not, Gary Gensler wants to call stablecoin securities and go all out and with draconian regulations and overreach. But Congress needs to provide the laws here and put Gensler and these guys in their place because they do feel threatened, the United States by stablecoins, because the fact that I can go put my US dollars in the stablecoins and transact that way and lend and earn higher yield, that is a threat to the US dollar, but they're going to regulate it. Stablecoins are not going anywhere. What they want is for the banks to be able to hold stable coins as well, just like you can and just like crypto and digital banks can, but they want the traditional financial world to hold stable coins. So stable coins are going to be around. There's going to be different stable coins, right? On the blockchain, there's USDC, there's USDT, and there's many others. So just know what's happening, but I'm seeing some signs here that people in Congress are now being pressured and forced into having to talk and have dialogue about this. So we're headed in the right direction. It can be painful and frustrating at times. And when you have guys like Gensler and Yellen and Elizabeth Warren, these people who are just so backwards thinking, and we know they're paid off, right? They're just doing the bit of their puppet masters. So guys, we're headed in the right direction. I'm so bullish on this market. There's great things happening. And we're inch by inch, we're moving from a government standpoint, but for the free market and the investments, the money is pouring in. I mean, just look at this $100 million fund for Metaverse, Facebook doing their thing, and Microsoft starting to do their thing. It's just massive. And politicians, both on the federal, local, state level, they're jumping in, guys. We're seeing adoption. So let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.